Crowds lined the Mall from dawn to catch a glimpse of them marching past. The Army, the Navy and the Air Force in lockstep, commemorating the end of Europe's bloodiest chapter. In 1945, the words of Churchill declaring Nazi defeat brought thousands here to celebrate.
This is your hour. This is not a victory of a party or of any class.
Today, those words were read by Timothy Spall, who played the wartime Prime Minister in the film The King's Speech. Alan Kennett, then just 20, was in Germany when the war ended.
Carry on.
Today, he opened the parade in central London. Now 100 years old, he's one of the ever smaller number of World War II veterans still with us.
We were at Celle in Germany. The door burst open and all the lads shouted, you know, shut up. And he said, I've just come to tell you that the war's finished. And the whole place erupted then, of course, and it became a great party, you know.
Today, Alan's fellow veterans sat alongside the royal family to watch as the marchers reached the end of the Mall. Then, for the big event, a flypast of the modern age, caught from below on iPhones and from above by a helicopter. A Lancaster, Typhoons, and finally the red arrows racing over Buckingham Palace as veterans watched from its courtyard. And the royals from the balcony that the late Queen stood on at the end of the Second World War in 1945, then just 19 years old.
Hopefully the youth of today will understand this and keep it going, because this could be the last time some of these guys and girls will actually see this.
And all you do is just remember, don't start another one.
My great-grandfather had fought for the British war for the Burma war, and he had a bullet on the knee, so we are quite sensitive about today, so we thought we must come.
I've been making posters. I've been looking at my iPad about the Union Jack flags and how to draw the red arrows.
Alongside British and Commonwealth soldiers were Ukrainian troops. Small in number, theirs a country still fighting a deadly war.
This is a big honor, first of all, yes, and we are proud of them very much.
It's about victory, and we are waiting for our victory in this horrible war, and we have to support each other. Every Ukrainian in Ukraine, here in England, we're supposed to be together.
And we would like to say thank you to all English people for the support and for the help.
In Downing Street, meanwhile, the Prime Minister handed out tea and cake. Here's one of many street parties across the country, a moment to celebrate the legacy of victory in Europe and promises of peace, even if it's a legacy strained in an uncertain world.
Henry William Rice, who's almost 100 years old, served as a Royal Navy signalman in a key communications role. Back in 1945, as the country was celebrating the end of war in Europe, he was still at sea and ended up being sent halfway around the world to continue the fight. He's been telling us about some of his memories from the time.
Well, I was a signalman, which was reading or sending messages by light. It was semaphore and Morse. I joined the Navy at 17 and a half, thinking I was a man. When I look back, no, I wasn't. I was just a boy. Perhaps my first real experience of war, we were going across the Atlantic, and it was just myself and the officer of the watch, and I smelt, and all I could smell was oil, paraffin, kerosene oil. I didn't know what it was. And stupidly, I said to the officer of the watch, that could be a U-boat, sir. I said, because they've now got this periscope type thing they stick up without actually coming to the surface. And he then pressed the button, action stations. I was one of the lucky ones. You know, I always try and make the point that life, any time or today or before, there was always those that did it all and those that got away with it. I got away with it.
So were you out here during
The King is the most gentlemanly gentleman that I've met. Her Majesty, smashing. I've been to Buckingham Palace and met Princess Anne. Wow. I can't help. This is this silly part of life again where you feel guilty and you shouldn't because. But I mean, my heroes really are the soldiers. And even now, I just sitting down quietly in the garden or in the evening and suddenly it all floods back. I'm so sorry for them. I admire them. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of those that survive. And I at times just gently look upwards and say, thank you, mate.